And, well, finally, hopefully this is gonna be it for the finals of the one-day free-for-all tournament hosted by TompX and Raudus. So, let's see how it's gonna be coming on Oasis between Domantas, Goldline, matreiuss, and Heavyweights aka OdinKing. And the gods are gonna be Hades times 2, then Loki, and then Odin. So, Nora, no Egyptians, so they should be making up for quite interesting games. You don't even have any Zeus in there. That's very interesting indeed. So, I'm kind of curious what actually the Hades want to do, because you mustn't forget this is fully balanced patch 101, which means there is no buff to Hades and no debuff to Zeus. So basically what you can expect is, I don't know what. I really don't know what. It's gonna be fairly standard and similar to actually Zeus, but probably not so strong. Well, we'll see what kind of ideas they are having. And of course, there are gonna be some kind of underworld passages and whatnot. So that's still gonna be quite prevalent, with potentially even Colossi in the Mythical Age. Forge of Olympus is definitely gonna be viable, even though not as easily. It's still quite alright, because it's in the vanilla version, so basically very cheap technologies are gonna be coming up after the upgrade is done. It is still gonna be fast, and also cost not changed or whatever. So we are so far looking around the map as, of course, Heavyweights, Domantas, matreiuss, and Goldline, all of them are having plenty of zebras. Apparently you can see that Odin has already cast the Great Hunt here. Yes, he did. He's gonna be having plenty of extra zebras for himself. This is definitely gonna help him in the early game. And how have they actually spawned? So that's gonna be Heavyweights, OdinKing that we have seen in the first game that I streamed. He's gonna be on the left side with Domantas. That's okay. So that's Hades against more or less the Odin against another Hades. They are across the map. That's actually nice. And at the bottom there's gonna be matreiuss as the very last one, as Loki player. Well, so far I have absolutely no idea what they're actually gonna do. In the room they kinda joked about ganging up on Goldline. I kinda think it's not gonna happen really, because free-for-alls are really about limiting the best players, and that basically can change very easily. So if somebody is gonna be dominant, like maybe Domantas, for example, they might be ganging up on it just as easily. So really, it's gonna be even easier on an open map like this, because you're gonna be having a middle path on the Oasis. This is not the one big Oasis, which could have been quite interesting. Actually, to be honest, I would be liking a bit more if it was actually the big Oasis in the middle, because right now this is gonna be opening up a lot of possibilities through the middle. So the players will have to be a bit more careful about what they do, rather than if there was basically no way to go through the middle and they were basically facing just two opponents on the sides. Right now it can be triple absolutely everywhere, which is interesting, but at the same time, as I said, it's probably gonna be leading into the players playing a bit more carefully than otherwise. Well, here we go, with a bit of scouting, of course, with Heavyweights trying to right now see if he can get some extra goatees, together, of course, with Goldline, who is just now discovering who's going to be on the top side of his. And looking at the gold, for example, it seems to be all pretty much fine. Plenty of gold mines between the players at the back, at the bottom as well, even though you could be saying that those ones are a bit more into the mid, so a bit more aggressive, so potentially could be abused by Domantas and Heavyweights through the mid, if they were kind of funneling through this side. So yeah, potentially could be useful for them. Otherwise, of course, the giraffes, very nice position for Domantas. That's gonna be very good bonus for him, as he's finishing with the zebras and whatnot. Otherwise, that's gonna be it for the hunt. A bit more monkeys at the bottom, but they're not really all that useful to actually gather from, unless you are Atlantean or maybe even a Norse. For Greeks and Egyptians, it's not really that big of a win. It's better than nothing, but usually you don't really want to go there, because if you build your granary in here, the monkeys are gonna be ending like here, and all kinds of inefficient, basically, food gathering in the early game. That's not something that you want all that much. Anyways, of course, zebras are gonna be finishing as well. He's gonna be moving somewhere into giraffes at the back, or not. Now, these are gonna be just monkeys, and where is he actually having the giraffes? If he is having them, that is. So far he hasn't discovered them, just lone zebra, and at the back they're gonna be just berries. He apparently doesn't have them, or maybe they're hidden dragons in there. I don't exactly think so. So it seems like that maybe just actually Domantas was having a bit of a luck, as Goldline. matreiuss is actually already declaring war on Goldline, it seems like, as he's also scouting him with the Escalation. with the scaling in there, as I'm really not seeing any kind of extra giraffes all that much just at the top side of the map. So it seems like that maybe Domantas and heavy raids are gonna be having a bit of extra bonus for them. 90 gold for a piece. Oh, that's fun. This is fun. If this actually works, this is gonna be really fun. And matreiuss. Well, matreiuss is on the other side of the map. Like, what is actually gonna be the bonus for heavy raids for this? Like, absolutely nothing. Like, yeah, I don't think he's actually gonna be sending it to him, but maybe he will. Not really certain. Can we actually see it in the post game? Not really sure. Economy, tributed resources. So far, nothing. So far, nothing. Let's see now. No. Okay, so it was probably just for a bit of fun, as Athena is gonna be the god of choice for the Hades, apparently coming already for a second TC, and is looking for gold line. Seems to be going for exactly the same. It's gonna be scouted by matreiuss right off the bat, who is already through also, but he doesn't have the army yet. You can see he's gonna be very slow, as Loki. Yeah, it's not really gonna be working all that well for him. Should be coming up alright, unless... Yeah, it should be. Unless there was some kind of assistance, it should be really fine. I don't expect any kind of extra god powers that could be denying this at all. You can see there's absolutely nothing that could be useful, as apparently even the spy is gonna be cast just now. Just now, to actually make sure that he knows where the villages are gonna be moving, because these are potentially hunters from maybe even the lions in there. There's absolutely no giraffes though, but this is just cooperating, or rather collaborating to what I was talking about a bit before, that actually the top side players are having extra giraffes. You can see both of them, whereas at the bottom they are not present, so they are potentially gonna be a bit behind in the economy if they don't play some kind of good live game. So potentially the top side really would be having an advantage, and if they are gonna be realizing that through the proper scouting, which maybe they could be at this point, they could be basically teaming up, easily killing the bottom, and then having a bit of a 1v1 between themselves. But yeah, this is a free-for-all, so we should be really expecting stabbing in the back, and that's definitely gonna be happening. If you win, rather if you want to win the game, you need to somehow gauge the situation and time it properly when you should be attacking the next strongest player behind you, so that you can possibly even win the game. So front TC, this is a very funny placement. This is a very funny placement indeed, and it's not... Oh, I was going to say it's not really funny for blue, and it really isn't, because this is basically his 30C. This was his second. It was almost looking like that this could be already his 30C, but it actually isn't. So he's having very frontish TCs, and since heavy raids is gonna be more or less controlling the choke point in the middle, this is actually supremely important for the game overall, and might be really leading to heavy raids controlling the game quite significantly. Quite significantly indeed. He's probably gonna be important in possibly joining up on the players on either gold line or matreiuss at the bottom, so definitely curious how that's gonna be playing out. As gold line coming for 30C, it seems like that everybody is booming, but matreiuss is just coming for the second one, finishing with it. But is he actually gonna be coming for the third as well? Well, at this point he should be, because everybody is picking the third ones. He's gonna be looking at that pretty soon, and I'm not entirely certain right now what's gonna be working better, but looking how this is gonna become kinda unexpected 2 versus 1s. Unexpected 2 versus 1s on absolutely anywhere. Well, matreiuss might get away with it if actually somehow the battle develops between Domantas and heavy raids, but if he doesn't, and he somehow doubled, for example, by gold line and Domantas, then the 2 TCs are just gonna be making the stuff a whole lot easier. But right now already he's gonna be attacking. And then, of course, we might be wanting to switch even somewhere else. I'm really kind of curious why neither matreiuss nor gold line are actually interested in the middle of the map. Why they basically just leaving it, leaving it open. Up to actually Domantas and heavy raids to decide what they actually want. Is not buffed? Yep. 101 patch. Nothing is changed, but the starting Ulfsark is changing to Skrailing for Norses, and then shifting sense power is actually less. Otherwise, everything as it should be in the original game, as in the vanilla. So yeah, absolutely no changes, just some kind of bugs fixes in things that were basically just legitimate bugs. Not really any kind of balance changes about that. Okay, so that seems like a pretty good boom right now going on by Domantas. You can see he's leading by quite some margin in there. He's definitely doing a whole lot better than gold line, and that could be also partly because of the extra giraffes. I really said at the start this is probably gonna be important, and it seems like it really might be, as the wall is finished at exactly exactly the right time in there for matreiuss to block matreiuss, as he was already advancing forward. But yeah, well, it seems like the walls are not really gonna be standing for much longer, as he's hitting very nicely all parts of the wall in there. Nicely played, and Domantas will probably have to defend at the top side very soon indeed, as he is gonna be finishing with the wall in at the bottom, trying to secure at least a few gold mines for himself. And that's you. Yes, this is a free-for-all. 1 versus 1 versus 1 versus 1, right? That was a 4-1s in there, I think. Hopefully, yeah. Anyway, this is very nice little forward base in here for heavyweights, as I said a bit before. Probably gonna be playing an important role a bit later in the game. Let's check the players if they're gonna be advancing. Well, it's gonna be Skadi coming. Skadi for raids. Right now it's gonna be different. Yeah, he was going for Njord in the first game, but he kind of forgot that he actually cannot control them, because we are not on the later version of the balance patch. We are only on the version 101. And it seems that matreiuss has gotten through the wall, and it's gonna be annoying right now on Domantas. As he was raiding on gold line, he's gonna be annoying the other Hades as well, and much more importantly, he already follows the sentinels. You can see they spawned with one less. He was apparently ready to spawn somewhere below the villager, which didn't happen in there. But yeah, this is not that ideal, because that god power actually can be quite useful, because it can help you basically withstand a bit of a situation where your opponents, or rather, where some of the players might be stabbing you in your back, attacking from the other side when you weren't expecting it. So it could be helping you, basically similar to the Citadel. That was very nicely helping to a Swiss boy in the last game that we have seen here on the channel and in the tournament. But yeah, well, that's not gonna be the option anymore, and it's gonna be waiting for only gold lion to potentially use it in that kind of way. But well, Frost definitely makes plenty of sense in there, as we are gonna be looking at attempted wall-in, which is of course gonna fail for gold lion, as already heavyweights is preparing for an attack on him. But well, who isn't preparing but already is attacking is matreiuss. And quite interestingly so, he's still at the 2 TCs, still having the 1-3 in there, which potentially could be some kind of sneaky steal for gold lion if he wanted to go for it. But looking how we are at just 11 minutes, he probably doesn't have the economy for that yet, and that means that he should be really just targeting what he can in the front. Well, plenty of walling coming up. Plenty of walls by OdinKing, aka Heavy Raiders, or rather Heavy Raids. Definitely wanting to not be surprised by anything at all, but he should be probably, or rather, upgrading the walls as well, because if he doesn't, then it's just gonna be too easy to tear down. It's not really all that much of a protection, especially in heroic ages. So the monsters through Apollo, of course, that's gonna be definitely the god of choice for gold line as well, who is apparently gonna be enclosed a bit by the teal player. Is he advancing? Oh well, he will be. You can see the armory already prepared. Armory prepared for the green player. He's advancing through Bragi already. So it's really looking like that he's actually gonna be attacking on gold lion, but at the same time, it's almost looking like that he and heavy raids are gonna be attacking the red player, but it's leaving just blue to do absolutely anything that he can. Heavy raids. This is looking like a bit of a cruise for Domantas so far. So far it really is. It's looking that Heavy Raids is actually gonna be attacking on Gold Lion, matreiuss is gonna be attacking from the backside, and at the same time it's gonna be resulting into Domantas actually taking a whack at Heavy Raids, which is of course gonna be disrupting him significantly, because he's here on the dwarf. He should be retreating from this position as soon as possible. Those are not gonna be really his all that much. But luckily for him, he still has plenty in the front, and since he's gonna be fighting against Gold Lion, probably with a bit of help by green, or not. Oh, maybe not. So it's almost looking like we're gonna be having a bit of a fan in here. matreiuss attacking blue, blue attacking teal, teal attacking red, and red attacking, well, probably not green. It seems like he's gonna be attacking teal. He's gonna be spoiling the fun. But still, it's kind of interesting development. Interesting development. And it might be an unexpected 2 versus 1, where the 1 is actually gonna be OdinKing, aka Heavy Raids, as opposed to what I was thinking, and to opposed to probably what he was thinking as well. Interesting. So far, how the game is actually going, I will be maybe slightly favoring Domantas, because he's having the best boom, and it seems he's having the best, like, diplomatical situation right now. He's fighting against pretty much the weakest player, matreiuss, I'm thinking. Weakest because he's having just the 2 TCs and the economy is not that ready. But at the same time, it also means that he is having better army. You can see that medium toxotai are not really all that upgraded. There is absolutely nothing in there. As for the Loki, we are having nothing all that much either. But still, he could be getting some extra bars. And they're gonna be quite useful indeed in here. So God Lion into Heroic Age. Into Heroic Age in there. As on the right, we're looking also at an engagement between God Lion and Heavy Raids. So this is actually developing into interesting 1v1s. And this is gonna be the TC still. Yep. Lions... Apparently Gold Lion is not the leader of the pack of the Lions, as those Lions are having different ideas about that. And they're gonna be... Oh, one villager is gonna die, it seems. Yes? Oh well. It's just one villager, luckily for him. It's not really all that bad, but definitely a big mistake by matreiuss. Not exactly accounting for that kind of possibility, because any extra TC is highly disruptive in free-for-all. We have seen it in the last game, and of course we're gonna be seeing it here as well, because unless Heavy Raids can already launch some kind of massive attack, which it seems like that he's definitely trusting Domantas. He's quite trusting Domantas, sending like... This is like his whole economy. He's having like the whole economy next to Blue. So if Blue actually discovered this, he could be killing him so easily. So easily indeed. But well, so far it's not gonna be happening because the Blue army is quite content to be at the bottom, where of course matreiuss, well, so far he is trying to basically reinforce his positions, going even for hell right about now. But yeah, the TC is just gonna be stolen from him and he's gonna be missing it quite sorely. This is not gonna be a fair fight. It's not gonna be a fair fight at all. He's right now coming for it, but it's gonna be too late, just a bit too late. Come on, exactly arriving there where it's taken, and matreiuss is realizing that he's completely screwed unless he does some kind of good tactical diplomatical decision. Let's see if he does or not, because he cannot stand. He cannot stand against 3 TCs Domantas right now. It's absolutely impossible for him. And at the same time, 4 TC Gold Lion will be a pretty significant problem for Heavy Raids. Yeah, Heavy Raids seems to be really going well right now for the game. Kinda curious if actually there's gonna be fight by matreiuss for the TC or not. Seems like there was some kind of idea about it. There was some kind of spots for that. But yeah, well... It's gonna be kinda hard. Even Achilles is apparently gonna be having a different idea about stuff. But with the Battle Ball coming up and Achilles probably dying very soon to all those heresies, this should be fairly easy. Fairly easy right now for matreiuss to actually get rid of, and this is actually very nicely played by matreiuss, because he needs to get that, and he needs to use all the opportunity that actually Domantas is giving him. And Domantas, since he's not right now pushing, is giving him all the opportunity to push forward to somehow... Yeah, fix lag, I don't see any. And second, you pause exactly at the point when you are attacking at 2 spots at once. Yeah, apparently there might be some lag though, so it might be just a coincidence. Let's think that it is a coincidence, and well, they're probably gonna have to live through that, but of course, it's gonna be the same for all of them, so hopefully they're gonna be able to actually deal with that quite fine. Yeah, you can see that right now they're talking about actually who should betray whom, who should be attacking where and whatnot. Yeah, matreiuss, give me back my back, give me back my back TC. Yeah, definitely. At any rate, since the TC is probably gonna be falling from Gold Lion, he's gonna be having harder time defending. You can see he's having even harder time defending right about now, because he has sent all the army to somehow protect it, which is gonna be resulting in most probably Heavy Raids somehow killing the economy more or less. Maybe doing something a bit more. Underworld Passage. Whoa, what the hell? This is one hell of a decision. This is one hell of an unexpected decision right about now by Domantas, who is gonna be absolutely killing the TC in the front and even controlling Heavy Raid somehow. And Gold Lion... Yes, Segdor. Yeah. Okay, right now I'm 75% confident Gold Lion is pausing tactically. Because he's attacking or rather fighting on 2 sides at once and he needs to somehow decide what to do. So, yeah. Yeah. Let's see if it's gonna be helping him or not. Right now he's gonna be casting the Underworld Passage, which is strange choice to be honest. Right? No. Underworld Passage. Kill Underworld Passage. God damn it. Don't screw the TC, you can kill that then. But you need to right now kill this, because right now there's a big battle right now happening on the right side between the Hades players. Where of course restorations are gonna be cast, with of course the Helepolis as well, as the Helepolis is going to be a problem on the Underworld Passage. But yet again we are on patch 101, which means that it is repaired so incredibly hellishly fast that even one villager could be keeping it alive without any kind of issue whatsoever. So this is a very interesting battle, basically more or less 2 versus 1 against Gold Lion, and Gold Lion is not even being attacked at the back all that much. You can see that the dragon is trying to kill the TC together with a few fire giants here and there, and apparently it's also resulting into matreiuss switching a bit more into the middle. This is actually very nice development by Heavy Raids. Bit of a sneak into middle so that he can attack. So that he can also attack on the green player, as the Underworld Passage here is gone, with all the army being right now got off on the right side. And that also means that this is gonna be very easy picking. Of course, for matreiuss, he's gonna be get finally at 3 TCs, with Gold Lion gonna be probably losing, well, sometime soon on 2, maybe not really soon enough. You can see that Colossus is gonna die, as the villages are still present to actually repair the Underworld Passage so fast. You can see how fast it is getting. As it is getting in there, as the Helepoli are of course still being sent through the very nice Underworld Passage in there, quite nice clue to the potential battlefield with green. But yeah, the double walling, especially upgraded, seems to be quite good enough in that. So goodbye TC for Gold Lion, who's gonna be at 2. Quite a fall from 4 actually into 2. And even though Gold Lion is very nicely upgraded, you can see he's having a champion. He's not having anything left because he's probably waiting for the for the Forge of Olympus. For the Forge of Olympus in here. He's probably gonna be hoping that he can survive a bit longer, as Ragnarok is right now being cast by Heavy Raids, and he's quite nicely ready for that because he's already in the middle, trying to basically wall off the mid so that he can control it fully. And apparently he doesn't have any kind of desire to attack Domantas. What kind of upgrades is he having? He's having champions, and that's good. All bronze and iron shields in that. As Blue is apparently gonna be interested in stealing the TC for himself, as of course he's also gonna be under attack, so he will have to go home. He will have to go right now back home. Which then is gonna be resulting into Blue Army coming back, and potentially a bit of a comeback available for Gold Lion. So this is gonna be all about the proper timing for all the players. Plenty of economy lost for Gold Lion, but he's still very much alive. You can see he's having the trade at the bottom. He's gonna be, I don't know, doing what with the villagers in there a bit later. And of course plenty of matreiuss's Usarks that were villagers just a bit before. He needs to somehow protect himself and needs to probably finish with the walling as well somehow himself. So, plenty of Ragnarok guys coming on to blue, so apparently, yeah, it was just somehow massing the army into one big one, so that actually he can actually send absolutely everything to Domantas, and it's a correct decision. And it's absolutely the correct decision, because Gold Lion is more or less inert at this stage due to Domantas, and Domantas is becoming the biggest threat. And since he's gonna be under attack of matreiuss as well, this is gonna be very hard for the blue player. He should be losing the TC that will be coming to OdinKing, and really there should be also opportunity for red to somehow try and potentially retake the 30 TC, but apparently he's having all kinds of troubles with matreiuss at the back, as matreiuss is probably gonna be the next strong player in line after Domantas. So probably at this point matreiuss and Domantas should be working together, trying to deal with the Ragnarok by Heavy Raids, and just kinda leave Gold Lion in there. Yes, it's actually a very nice deal, and maybe underestimated by Domantas a bit, but still he does have at least the Helepolis in here, which is gonna be denying the TC quite nicely. Not though the one inside his home base. That's gonna be definitely coming into the teal player's power, which is quite a significant issue for blue, because he's gonna be losing plenty of those Hipaspis. Nicely upgraded. You can see all iron already after the Forge of Olympus, most definitely. And well, the extra population is coming for OdinKing all across the map. He's fully upgraded as well. Well, almost. The double bronze and of course the iron in there. And well, yeah, Domantas right now under full-on double with all the ballista and whatnot. So apparently it's gonna be heading into a bit of an interesting fight between matreiuss and Heavy Raids. But matreiuss also needs to hurry up, because he needs to somehow close at least a few TCs for himself. Otherwise he will have to face against Gold Lion, which he already does. You can see that Heavy Raids is quite nicely interested, or rather quite heavily interested in the settlement, but it's getting a bit difficult. In the middle still. A bit of a fun between matreiuss and Heavy Raids. Apparently one of the Ufsarks is gonna be winning. because one is upgraded, and the one who is upgraded is actually this one. The green is not so much as actually the teal one is. This TC is gonna be toastish as well, and it's looking like that actually Domantas is gonna be counting his last minutes in this game. Or maybe not even minutes, not even that long. But well, matreiuss is doing what he can with the head of the Medusa, trying to at least kill a few units here and there, but it's getting a bit difficult for him. Well, though the TC is in full power of the teal player, as the TC at the bottom as well, and he's already at 5. He has killed the Underworld Passage, much more importantly. So it's gonna be up to Goldline to, well, he probably missed the opportunity to take it for himself. Right now it seems that he's gonna be having a bit of a fight with matreiuss. So apparently Heavy Raids is just gonna be collecting TCs across the map, whereas matreiuss and Goldline are gonna be fighting each other. And then Heavy Raids is just gonna be killing them all together. Both of them. No matter what actually happens next. So this is looking very promising right now for OdinKing, really. It really is, that he could be actually claiming the championship in the tournament. Well, let's not call it yet, because there still could be plenty of fight. Especially if, for example, Goldline and matreiuss started cooperating instead of fighting. If they started fighting together, they could very easily disrupt what actually Heavy Raids is doing. And they should. They definitely should, because even if they are having some kind of maybe personal animosities or whatnot, they should be thinking about winning the game and the tournament. And that cannot happen if Heavy Raids is gonna be allowed to go all that much up in the TCs. But well, Domantas is not out of the game yet. He has been able to actually kill the TC by nice use of the Gastra feats. Very good unit. Very good unit for exactly controlling the town centers. As on the right, we have also seen a few of them being used by Goldline a bit before. Not only Toxotai, I've seen the Gastra feats there as well. But well, there is of course a good opportunity right now for matreiuss to push all on Goldline. Domantas, yeah, I kind of think it's a correct decision by matreiuss to actually not attack him. And hoping that actually Domantas is gonna be attacking on Heavy Raids. But I'm not all that certain if he's actually gonna be working towards his advantage, because it's almost looking like that Domantas is having different ideas and wants to punish the insolence of the green player. And that's then gonna be quite difficult, as Goldline himself is under quite strong double right now. But it might not be really lasting all that long. It's all gonna depend when actually, or rather what Domantas is gonna do next. If it's gonna be just basically patiently waiting, it could be also serving him very well. Otherwise, if he's gonna be pushing on matreiuss, it also makes sense, because this is a good opportunity for taking some extra TCs against the teal player for the final battle a bit later. But yeah, all the towers being present in here with all the archers, of course, Champion Toxotai, with all the extra upgrades that you can possibly imagine having on the units. Well, this is looking like quite heavy losses for Heavy Raids, but still he might be at least able to take down the TC at 5,000. 5,000 hit points, fully upgraded TC, 5,000 hit points for Hades. Well, that's hell of a problem for actually taking down 5 normal units, especially for Norse, of course. So portable Rams, trying to kill the Hypaspist in there by pushing him into his belly with a big trunk in there. Yeah, well, that didn't really work out. He had to be killed by a few swords a bit later, but the Gastra feats are finally coming fully into gameplay, and they're gonna be quite unlucky, of course, for matreiuss, because mustn't forget, this is his strong spot for the economy. And once he loses all those 20 farms, that's gonna be quite a significant chunk, and very important one, because food is one of the most important resources in here, especially for Norse. He's gonna be gone, and what's he gonna be doing next? Not really sure, because Goldline seems to be able to defend himself quite fine, even though he's just at 1 TC. He's gonna be 2 pretty soon. You can see this was lost to matreiuss probably a bit sooner, due to some ballistae and whatnot. But we are also looking at the breach, finally, of Domantas, sending plenty of shades coming back from the underworld to fight yet again for their master. And they're gonna be attacking Heavy Raids from the backside, and they've already killed one of his TCs in here, and it's down to 3. So even though it might have looked like we are getting into some kind of actually late game, well, anything but. The game is just now going to be turning on its head, as Domantas is gonna be apparently getting a bit of a revenge in the match. And well, it's gonna be resulting into Heavy Raids actually having to defend himself quite a bit. Quite a bit indeed. In the meantime, of course, you can see that Blue is using all the opportunity that he can possibly get to somehow gather the gold mine in the middle. Definitely a nice idea by him. Well, yeah, the war apparently is full on raging between matreiuss and Domantas. With matreiuss being at 2 TCs, he has apparently lost one somewhere in his base then. Yeah, he has lost the one inside his base. inside his base, right next to economy, as we were expecting a bit before. But yeah, with all of the ballistae, with draft horses, engineers, and even burning pitch, they're gonna be quite annoying because they are not half bad against normal units either. If they actually can hit, well, you can see how fast they're actually killing Achilles and there, and Ajax, and all the heroes of the Greek people. With, of course, quite nice watchtowers coming up. That's a very good idea, as he needs some kind of support. He doesn't have really the population limit. You can see he's having just 2 TCs, with the third just being built right now. And the towers are quite good, quite a good idea if you are missing population limit and need some kind of extra help. So here we go with the Frost that is gonna be cast on the right side by Heavy Raids, as he was probably trying to deny the TC. It seems so. Yeah, it seems like that he was actually trying to deny the TC to Gold Lion. So he's gonna be trying to take it for himself, at least for the moment, if he can. Which it seems like that he might be able to, as Gold Lion is having a bit of a trench warfare with the towers. Yeah, against Matreiuss, trying to deny the gold, keep it for himself as well. And well, that seems like a pretty big problem for Matreiuss brewing. And even though he's getting ready for it as well, with all the, apparently even killing the monkeys in there, done something against those guys, apparently. It's gonna be very hard, because he's gonna be under heavy double by Domantas at 3 TCs, who has right now stopped attacking against the Teal player, because Teal is right now attacking on himself as well, who has also retaken the TC in the middle. So everybody is at 3, well, most everybody, half of the teams. Half of the teams. Oh, this is gonna be one hell of a forest fire. This is gonna be one hell of a forest fire on Oasis. Okay, let's see how far it actually spreads. I'm not entirely certain if it can actually kill the whole Oasis. I actually don't think so. But we'll see pretty soon, I guess. So no need to actually venture some kind of random guesses on that. I'm gonna be looking at that pretty soon on the results of the big forest fire, as the TC is coming for Heavy Raids. He's probably gonna be having good population limit to potentially advance also on Domantas at the top, yet again on the TC, which is kind of open. Probably should be Domantas thinking a bit more about somehow stabilizing a bit more by towers or whatnot, as we are gonna be looking also at the bottom, where Blue is still pushing forward, but not really fast enough, it seems like. The Gastra feeds might be a good idea, but he needs a few more of them than he's right now having, because he's having like exactly, that was the last one that just died in there. Zipas is of course a good unit, but mustn't forget that they are more or less counterplayed by those ballistae, so this is exactly why Matreiuss is having such a good game and not really losing all that significantly to Domantas right now. But he definitely needs to be worried about what is gonna be happening by Gold Lion at the back, as that potentially could be a bit of an issue. You can see this is actually a very nice walling, so that he can have access quite close to the middle of the map, which apparently there, yeah, it seems like some kind of sneak build onto taking down the TC. That's actually a very nice idea by Domantas, as flaming weapons have been cast by Matreiuss, pushing forward and hoping that he can actually take the TC down and maybe even close it for himself, which could definitely help him, as he is at 3, could be using the 4th, the same as Heavy Raids could be using it as well, as he already has it, but he's also pushing forward quite nicely with hill forts and some kind of, yeah, just hill forts. I was thinking maybe even some other buildings as well, but apparently not. But, well, with plenty of towers in here, and yet again 5,000 hit points on a TC by Hades. That's so hard to actually take down right now for the Teal player, that he's gonna be here for quite some time longer, and Gold Lion could be probably having some kind of chance with a few Gastraphies to actually even kill all the buildings, and maybe just the Matreiuss' TC in there. At any rate, Domantas has lost a TC in there, and Matreiuss asking for gold from OdinKing. Oh, what is actually going on here? Is there some kind of attack by Domantas already on TC? Yes, there is. Yeah, exactly the sneak that we were talking about is happening, and the TC is gone. That's how good the Gastra feats are. That's how good they are. And that is an issue for Heavy Raids, because right now he's probably not gonna be having all that easy time of advancing on Gold Lion. So the dynamic is probably gonna be changing a bit yet again. And Gold Lion, well, he's kind of passive right now, but I'm kind of thinking he's actually the hatching a plan on somehow stealing the TC back for himself from Matreiuss. I'm really thinking that's something that he should be doing, but he is also gonna be running out of gold. It's still one gold mine with 600, better than nothing. But yeah, nothing all that huge. Steel is more or less stopped in his tracks, because he has lost the TC in the middle. Even though he's trying to retake it, it's probably not gonna be that easy for him. as long as actually Domantas is gonna be paying attention. What he should be paying attention to are those idols in there, because they have been going to the TC at the bottom, which is not available anymore, and he's probably gonna be losing plenty of gold in that, because he's having one last gold mine in the middle, more or less. This one is gonna be running out pretty soon, yes. So he's having about 4,000 gold left in here, and still nothing. This is gonna be quite costly indeed, as he's trying to somehow secure a fortress, but secure a fortress when you're having about 10 ballistas against you, yeah, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work at all. As ballistae with the 5 giants will have to retreat for a moment, which might give an opportunity for Domantas to stabilize and maybe yet again try to take down the TC for good and the hill fort as well, and maybe even still the TC for himself. As you can see, the hill is actually right now popped, not having enough population to somehow battle in here, and the forest fire, it took quite a big chunk of the forest actually, not all of it, but it actually allowed him to go into the middle, and for some reason heavy raids actually went for for a dock. Why did he go for a dock? I don't know. I cannot tell at all. Maybe he thought it could be some kind of tactical advantage for him, but yeah, don't really see the use for it right about now. But at any rate, of course, Hellapoli finally making an appearance by Gold Lion, and this is a decided push to actually get on the fortified TC, and just confirmed by the extra Titan Gate being built as there's some kind of useful god power. Not anymore, just useless healing spring right now, and the game seems to be heading into a bit of a stalemate. As Green is basically just having a bit of a 1v1, a short one on the left flank with, of course, Domantas, and Domantas is probably gonna be trying to, bit by bit, gain the ground and then finally get the TC as well, and potentially even the TC at the back as well, but he needs a whole lot more army in here, as this isn't looking all that promising, as Heavy Raid's apparently gonna be paying plenty more attention to this side of the map, as he really needs the extra population limit if he somehow wants to push against Gold Lion and doesn't want to deal with the potential of the Titan that is most definitely coming up. At least it seems so right now. With all the Gastrafis with a very nice range of 24, that's a huge range, he could be probably shooting from here into the TC. I'm thinking he can be shooting from behind the walls onto the TC. That could be 24 range, it's actually quite a lot. Quite a lot indeed, as at the bottom not much happening, just apparently matreiuss is gonna be switching his attention also a bit onto Gold Lion. As Gold Lion is having a bit of fun in there as well, with the Gastrafis trying to basically push forward and kill a few buildings here and there, but it's not gonna be the correct idea. But the Hellapoli are gonna be a whole lot better, but it needs also some kind of support at least, and he kinda needs it fast, because the game is not looking all that great for him, considering that the Titan Gate is gonna be minus 20 population limit. Yeah, it's gonna be hard. Once you are on low population limit, Titan might not always help you as much as you would like. So let's see if that's gonna be the case here or not. If Heavy Raids is gonna be somehow able to stabilize the situation, because he's been able to take the TC yet again. But of course the Gastrafis are still present and still could be having some kind of fun, if only there was a way to get through. Like for example building a wall. Maybe even get through there. Ah, well, finally, here we go. Finally the wall is there, as the Titan is gonna be jumping out of the underground and underworld as well. And moving ever forward, for example, on the back TC on here. I'm not certain what's better choice for him. I'll be maybe thinking it could be better to actually go on a matreiuss and take a TC, take the third there, and only then actually go to the top and go for the fourth against Heavy Raids. Maybe that could be working, not entirely certain, as the battle on the left is not really all that huge. You can see Domantas has retaken the TC in there, with Perseus killing a few units. Apparently that was a forest fire giant, I'm thinking. But finally we are also seeing gold colossi already. And yeah, the situation is getting quite problematic for matreiuss. And he's gonna be having his hands full with the Greek player on his left side. Well, apparently in the middle though, nothing much happening between those two players, other than this being very open. And needing some extra population limit, so he's killing at least a few donkeys here and there. Or is he killing them? Yes, he is. He was just looking if there wasn't some kind of remaining archer. But the TC has yet again been killed. It's basically going to be the story of the middle of the map. Heavy Raids trying to keep himself at 4 TCs, but not really succeeding for too long, as the Cerberus is gonna be taking him all the way down to potentially even 2. As we are at 36 minutes, and this game doesn't look any closer to actually being decided. So this is exactly what free-for-alls are all about. Everybody against everybody, and yet the game just organically flowing from one side to the next, to the next, to the next, of course, as we are having 4 sides in here. And yep, you can never be sure who is going to be stabbing whom into the back. Well, so far, of course, at the bottom, there's an attempt at huge wall of China. A huge wall of China in here by Gold Lion, which could be working really. He's just gonna be forced, maybe not even get around, as apparently the tower is gonna be getting rid of that quite fine. The battle in the middle is non-existent. You can see there was a kind of attempt by Gold Lion to do something, as the TC on the right has been killed by the Titan. So that means that Heavy Rates is at back at 3, potentially at 2, once the TC in the middle is yet again killed by the Domantas. Still being kept at 3 in there. Still in there, as the battle is really kinda equal. You can see that actually Hades and Odin and Loki are very much equal in the late game. You can see that basically nobody's winning, everybody's having all the upgrades. Missing none, and using all the civilization, or rather all the civilization perks that you can get. This is looking very well indeed into some kind of significant stalemate. I'll be probably liking a bit more Colossi by Domantas, because they are chronically hard to deal with for Norse players, as we are looking at another attempt by Heavy Race to take PC, which is of course completely gonna fail, as Gold Lion's Titan is gonna be making sure of that, and he probably should be just trying to get rid of the military buildings, because they are the biggest reason why he cannot really hold on onto the TC and onto the position there. As basically all the army trickling in there, you can see this is the issue. He needs to move forward, kill this forward base, and potentially with it even the market, because the trade is supremely effective. This is definitely the best trade that is in the game, or not really by much, but it is very good. Very good indeed for him. As on the left side, Green, well, even though he has lost all the towers and all the hill forts that he was having in this position, he's still trying to rebuild them. But it seems like that he's slowly losing ground. Slowly losing ground through some kind of attempt at even more military buildings, and it's definitely helping, of course, to be having all the military so quickly made, as matreiuss is falling behind on that, and that might be the reason why he's actually losing in that. Oh well. On the right, Titan still... Yeah, it seems like that he's basically gonna be guarding this TC for the remainder of his life. It's almost looking like he's not gonna be getting anywhere else. But this is basically all about if Gold Lion can get the 30C. If Gold Lion can get the 30C, he's most certainly back in the game fully. Most certainly back in the game fully, and he can push even back on the teal player. And then it might be interesting, Hades versus Hades. Could be, but you mustn't forget about, of course, all the attempts still being made in the middle of the map. You can see that they are so far stopped, at least for the moment. That yeah, the TC has been attacked a bit before, and it will be attacked again. No questions asked. As interesting, this is interesting build-up, as Heavy Race is right now moving through the middle. Moving through the middle in here, as of course this is gonna be disruptive to matreiuss, and at this point it's looking very dire for matreiuss, because he's losing on the left side quite significantly. Finally Domantas has been able to push through, and I'm really thinking it's because of the lack of military buildings, or rather they are very far behind and very far away, and he just somehow cannot supply that fast enough. So yeah, these Greek units are just slaughtering him, and especially it could be said about, it seems like those champion Toxotai from Hades, they are one hell of a problem. So that seems very nicely played by Domantas. As far as matreiuss goes, he's probably gonna be right now, unless he makes some kind of diplomatic decision, very good one. I don't exactly know which one he could be doing, could be making right now, and what he could be actually giving to anybody, like for example to Heavy Rates or Gold Lion or whatnot. It's looking very bad for him. As of course Heavy Rates is right now fighting against Gold Lion, trying to prevent the TC, which I think in the long run shouldn't succeed. This is very nicely played by Gold Lion, because he needs the extra population limit to somehow stabilize the situation and help the Titan move ever forward. Kill the building here and move finally to killing the fortresses and the extra most definitely auto-queued long houses in the top. But yeah, well, on the left side, matreiuss definitely losing the TC. It's a question of time. And once, of course, Heavy Rates is gonna be moving forward as well. He's basically right now, what he's trying to do, he's trying to use the opportunity of Domantas attacking on green and more or less steal this TC for himself. That's what I think what he's doing. Even though he's also thinking about attacking Gold Lion from the from the other side. That's nice. Yeah, matreiuss is definitely looking like heroes there. Unless he really does some kind of decision or receive some kind of help. It's not looking all that great. But what isn't also looking great is Heavy Raid's position, because it's really looking like Gold Lion has been right now finally pushing forward, rather to push forward, as matreiuss is recognizing that this game is kinda gone for him. You can see that Domantas has finally captured him, and right now it's gonna be scramble for Africa on Oasis, aka scramble for TCs. Because of course all they need to do right now, for example, Heavy Raids, what you doing? TC, yours for the taking, come on, that's what you need to do. You need to get the TC before Domantas takes it for yourself, rather for himself, and same goes for right now Gold Lion, exactly this. Gold Lion is gonna be the first to take advantage of the free TCs, and this is a huge mistake by OdinKing. Absolutely huge mistake by OdinKing that is gonna be costing him the game. Because not only the Titan is gonna be leveraging the advantage into killing all the military buildings in there, and since Gold Lion is already at 3, he's gonna be at 4. And that's a point where Heavy Raids is gonna be so heavily losing at that point. And potentially even he's gonna be losing the TC from the back, from Domantas, and it's really looking like we're gonna be looking at a 1v1 between the Hades players. So, interesting development, very interesting development indeed, as there's gonna be push for the TC finally by Domantas. He should be doing that sooner rather than later, but yeah, Gold Lion taking all the TCs, and well, if you thought for the majority of the game that Gold Lion is not gonna win, he might be just proving you wrong. This is looking so great for him as he's taking advantage of all the free TCs, but maybe he's gonna be just a bit too slow, or not. Oh, he's gonna be in time. And he's at 5 TCs. Oh god, he's at 5 TCs. Right now he's in an absolutely supreme position. This TC must definitely come for Domantas. Most Domantas. Oh well. He's right now basically the only player who can somehow stand against Gold Lion, as all this extra population limit is just gonna be helping him in deleting raids. He's losing all the military buildings and all the capabilities of actually producing the units. But all he needs to do is actually coming forward. And yep, Domantas right now absolutely confused how Gold Lion went from 2 to 5 TCs. And he's right now gonna be having so much of an army and even looking to attack him very soon as well. Yeah, apparently maybe some kind of communication here and there, but this TC should be basically killed by Domantas as soon as possible and captured by him, because he just cannot fight with the 4 TCs against the 5 TC Gold Lion that is soon gonna be coming there. Okay, Shu. Yeah, looking still at this guy very much alive. He could be killing the trade, that could be useful. It could be definitely useful, as of course the Ulfsars are coming into the mid and potentially even trying to disrupt the the home TC. Not a bad idea, because you can see that the town center is at 3,500 hit points. It hasn't been repaired. That's a bit of a mistake by Gold Lion in there. And with all the portable ramps actually coming forward, oh well. Well, it's almost looking like that actually there is a bit of cooperation by, or rather between Heavy Raids and Domantas, as they fully recognize that Gold Lion is definitely one to beat. He has become suddenly in about a minute like the strongest player in the game, and they definitely need to deal with him, otherwise he's just gonna be having a very easy game advancing ever forward. But it's not looking all that promising right now, since, as I said, it's looking like a cooperation between Heavy Raids and Domantas against him, so he's gonna be down 1 TC here. Doesn't look that should be surviving too much longer. There's gonna be attempt into the mid, and it seems to be like a very nice thought through attempt, as he's first killing all of those fortresses and all the extra population limit, basically all the extra population limit archers in the towers. It exactly needs to happen, and then he's gonna be having a very good push. I'm not exactly thinking at this TC, because you can see it's very nicely defended and made a stronghold off, but this TC in the middle, definitely this is a mistake by Gold Lion not repairing it. 1,500 hit points less. That's a lot. That's really a lot. Anyway, Titan is coming forward. That probably is gonna be resulting into 45 TC getting killed, as already Valkyrie is being made to help with defending against the Titan, as the TC has been finally felled in the front. But of course Gastrafis are alive, as are so many villages, and they're gonna be trying to take the 50 TC yet again. But I don't really expect that should be standing all that much, because right now it seems more or less like a 1v1, or rather full-on concentration by Domantas on Gold Lion, as Gold Lion has also lost the TC on the left, and he's yet again in a very difficult situation, as of course at the top we are also looking at Domantas already preparing on closing on Heavy Raids. So Domantas is playing this very well. Very well indeed. He is fully attacking at the bottom, but already preparing all the military buildings and basically everything that he needs to finally start attacking heavy raids when he needs to. Who is right now dropped to 2 TCs because of the Titan, who is at 1,000 hit points. But well, in the front there is not any kind of push by Red, because there's very nice walling, and Red is basically right now locked in full-on 1v1 battle against against Domantas, and Domantas somehow managed to screw up. He actually managed to screw up and let Godline take the TC, so that's extra 5,000 hit points he needs to gain. Well, not really that great. Not really that great, all that much in there, but of course this is gonna be 5 TCs for Domantas, unless something unexpected happens, which it seems like that it shouldn't. Yeah, goodbye TC, 5,000 hit points gone. Also because of these Gastra feats. So that's that. Titan killing another TC by heavy raids. So heavy raids is more or less, well, he's pretty much killed. Right now they should be used by Domantas. Well, this one villager is not enough, but all of those 13 villagers could be potentially trying to steal the TC. They are not a bad choice in here, as the Titan is gonna be dying soon, killing the rest of the units, and right now he's fell into the ground. Oh well. And he has just fallen with one of the last Gizlis swine thigh, and with plenty of help in there, it seems like the TC might be coming in the end for the teal player yet again. But there is, well, interesting choice to go for this TC. I don't agree with that. I definitely think that he should be coming for the main one, because there's just one tower. There's absolutely nothing left. Just go for the middle. Don't go for the one that is having a million towers around it. It just doesn't make any kind of sense. But well, here we are, moving ever forward, as Godline is apparently losing those TCs in favor of Domantas. But, well, who's going to be stopping Domantas? At this point, I don't think there is actually anybody who can stop him, because Heavy Raids is not prepared for that, even though he's probably thinking about it. I'm expecting that he should be right now trying to push somehow into the back, trying to kill the trade and whatnot, because we are way behind point, where there are any kind of gold mines available at. This is basically the very last one, it seems like. 2,500. Oh, there's actually still one left with 3,000, so 5,000 gold still left for heavy raids. Of course, the red is still very much present in the middle, in here as well. And how's it looking in there? Not too promising for the red player, as this seems... Oh well, Perseus is a problem. You can see one of the colossi already petrified. Here. The second one is gonna be probably petrified as well once he gets the extra power yet again. Maybe he's gonna kill him even through the sword. It seems as... Yep, here we go at the very end. That was a quick topple. Quick topple in there in the animation, but still the extra population is definitely coming through for Domantas and Godline, even though he's doing what he can to somehow get back at the 4. He's just not having enough luck in that, as he is having a bit of fight in the middle. And that's pretty much all the fighting that we've so far seen. There's not any extra fight, just here on the right and then on the left, as it seems that Godline is trying to somehow, yet again, map control the situation, so that he can get a bit closer to the TC by the inches. As of course at the top right now, well, heavy raids, he suffered kind of heavy losses in the economy and everything. So he's just basically rebuilding now, and he needs to take a bit of a break. Have plenty of portable rams, and it seems like that he's gonna be making an attempt on the TC from the top. Definitely looks like it, but I don't think he's actually having enough population limit for that. Or... well, I don't know. He's of course not having all that much less than Goldline, and Goldline is full on fighting at the bottom, or full on fighting, kind of halfway fighting in there, it seems like. But I don't really like heavy raids attacking against Goldline. He should be right now realizing that he needs to attack Domantas, because Domantas is right now definitely poised to win the game if the battles are going to be continuing against Goldline, because heavy raids just cannot fight against Domantas then, when Goldline is gone. Goldline is right now working as his, more or less a bumper against the blue player, and if he gets rid of him as well, then yeah, well, it's gonna be a very nasty crash. That's gonna be killing the driver, I'm afraid. Well, plenty of course, Alepoli that are a very beastly unit, especially when you are quite fully upgraded, which they are, engineers and rapt horses on them, and they are 650 hit points with plenty of armor. That's what I was wanting to say, but only melee missing, of course. So the hoplites, not a bad choice, but of course he is not Zeus, which means that they are not having the extra bonus against buildings. So not really certain they're gonna be the correct unit. They are pretty decent overall, but definitely would be liking the Gastrafeeds a bit more, because they will be just leveling the TC so easily. You can see also not repaired, 1500 hit points missing, as we are finally looking at a huge attempt at Gold Line's TC, so yeah, that's goodbye TC. Yeah, there's no way you're gonna be even able to repair that. And right now, fire at will, I kinda guessing. You can basically just hit anything you want, and you're gonna be killing so many buildings in half a minute. So this is gonna be a very significant issue for Gold Line. He's gonna be dropping in population limit, which is gonna be making all stuff in the middle easier for the Domantas, especially since he's coming for a Titan. So, to be honest, once the Titan is up, the game is done. Once the Titan is up and Domantas is still at 5 TCs, the game is done. Because what he's gonna do, he's gonna be continuing pushing through the bottom. At that point, he probably will already have this TC under his power. And the Titan is just gonna be coming top, killing all the town centers for heavy raids, and yeah, that's it. So right now, it's really looking very promising for Domantas to actually win the game, as the TC is attempted to be stolen by heavy raids, which seems it might actually work. It actually might work in the end. Oh, well, oh, it's gonna be very close. That's gonna be very close indeed. Come on, Gold Lion, potentially could have stopped that. But apparently not anymore. Or are you still gonna be in time? It seems like he was just in time. Oh, well, that was one hell of a timing. Good job. Good job, Gold Lion. Oh, well, that could have been a huge disaster, of course. Huge disaster for him, but it could have been also pretty bad news for Domantas, as he could have had a bit more problems at the top. But really, it's looking like the Titan is gonna be coming up without any kind of issue. In the front, it's looking very promising for Domantas for 6 TC, as he's pushing ever forward on Gold Lion, and Gold Lion probably gonna be losing this TC in about, I don't know, maybe, I don't want to call it about 5 minutes, maybe 2-3. Maybe 2-3 minutes. I'm expecting that Domantas should be through those walls, but otherwise on the right flank, the TC shouldn't be coming up for Gold Line anytime soon, unless some kind of brutal misplay happens by heavy raids, but I don't really expect that all that much. Yeah, it seems that he's right now concentrating on pushing ever forward, trying to get through walls somewhere, and maybe even get rid of the fortress, which is not a bad idea at all. But what he, of course, mustn't let happen is Gold Line retake the town center against him, because this is basically his last lifeline into even beating Domantas a bit later. Yeah, these were definitely villagers transformed into all those Usaks. Yeah, apparently he doesn't. He apparently doesn't, but you should be really doing a better job of actually securing it. Because if he cannot, then Domantas is just gonna be slaughtering you, absolutely. 6 TC is finally gone, or rather done. For Domantas, Titan is 75%, so almost there. Almost there. And how we can afford that much with 2 TCs? Yes, that's very nicely played, of course, by Gold Line. He's having good economy, and much more importantly, he's having the trade for like already 40 minutes. He's having this trade as soon as he entered into Heroic, pretty much. He was having this trade, and it's still going, and it's a very strong one. Very strong one indeed. Yeah, that's very nicely played. So Heavy Raids is finally, finished with the TC, which is basically right now closing the deal for Gold Lion. So Gold Lion is gonna be the next player to tap out. He's gonna be the 3rd placement, or rather the bronze player of this game. There's pretty much no chance that he's going to be coming back from this. But Heavy Raids should be stopping this. No, don't. Just don't. Heavy Raids needs to be right now. He should have, not now, he should have already about 5 minutes ago starting to attack in this point, because right now he's having no chance against Domantas. The Titan is just gonna be absolutely killing him. You can see he's already sending him top, or he should be rather. He should be. If he's sending him to the bottom, it's a mistake. Yeah, that's a mistake. Not exactly sure what kind of agreement they are having between themselves, but it's definitely not a great idea if he wants to win the game. Because we can just close it. We can just close it. Send the Titan to the top, kill the town centers of Heavy Raids. At the same time, when you kill the town centers of Gold Lion, and it's a GG. It's a GG right there. But let's see how it's gonna be developing from there then. Well, I'm almost... Yeah, he is having everything. I was just for a moment thinking maybe there was some kind of upgrade missing looking at the structure of the farms, but no, he's having only upgrades. No mistake in there, as we had 55 minutes, nearing or an hour of a very good game. Very good game in here, as of course he cannot right now stand a chance against all these attacks, as the middle TC has been killed as well by Heavy Raids, and he's gonna be getting a 5th one. So he's just basically right now trying to stall Heavy Raids a bit, who's going to be at 5 town centers. Oh, is he? Is he? Oh, well, right now Goldline is giving up. Okay, so he is gonna be at those. At all of those. At all of those town centers. Oh. Aha. Okay, so that's that. Because of the Titan, right? Yeah, the Titan coming up in that. They have already started to call it the GG. I was for a moment confused in that. I was thinking that actually Goldline actually resigned, but he didn't. That was first Heavyweights who recognized that he doesn't have a chance against Domantas, against the Titan in there, and all the population limits. So yep, Goldline followed, and that was very good game. And Goldline was out of absolutely nowhere in the middle of the game, or rather it was at about 40 minutes. Absolutely out of nowhere in a minute. He came from 2 TCs to 5, and he almost was able to somehow salvage the game. That was absolutely incredible right there. That was absolutely incredible. Yeah, well. Well, that was... As I said, this game could have been longer. And Heavyweights actually could have had pretty good chance of making something happen against Domantas if he stopped attacking Goldline and basically let Goldline keep Domantas busy and attack from the back on the blue player. He needed to somehow slow him down and neutralize the Titan a bit. But yeah, right now, even if he were to be at 5 TCs with the Titan, I really don't think it would work. I really think that Domantas, in that constellation, Domantas would be winning. So Heavyweights had to switch from Goldline into Domantas' back. Then he could have had pretty good chance. I'm not entirely certain why he didn't, because it was kind of obvious way how to potentially even win the game. But yeah, well, that's that. That's that. And we're gonna be looking at the post-game. And of course, congratulating Uka Domantas on winning the one-day free-for-all tournament hosted by TompX and Raudus. So congratulations. And that was one hell of a 1 hour game. Almost 1 hour game in here. So good job. Good job indeed. So then, Heavyweights, well, that's one hell of a echo. Very good economy for him. For Goldline also, though. And he was doing a very good job actually staying in the game. Even with just 2 TCs, that was nice. It was really nice. 770 by Domantas. Well, that's one hell of a military count. Same for Heavyweights. And you can see how actually Goldline was efficient and how all the towers and fortresses helped him. Just 450 and he was still able to kill so many units. 911. Because of all the buildings and all the arches. Nice. Buildings lost 211. What the hell? I'm not entirely certain how actually wars count in there. If they count. I kind of think they do. But 211, that's an impressive number. Even for an hour game. Yeah, all the upgrades for Goldline. He was having really good echo. And that was because of the trade that he was having at the bottom. That was very, or rather very good. It wasn't that great, but it was going for quite a long time. So we gave him all the extra resources that he needed. And he needed. Well, he wasn't really having all that lower amount of military than anybody else. Even on those two, well, on those 2 TCs he was. This was probably where he was jumping at the 5 TCs I'm thinking. Or at least the 3. But otherwise the 2, he was still below everybody. And all the towers and fortresses definitely made up for everything. Well, good job. Ending with 17,000 resources. Well, kinda happens. Kinda happens. Okay, GG. And yet again, congratulations Domantas on winning the one-day free-for-all tournament hosted by TompX and Raudus. And thank you, hosts, for taking the work of actually hosting the tournament. It was very much fun, and I hope that we're gonna be seeing some more tournaments in the coming weeks, months, and definitely years, as of course, Age of Mythology is not going anywhere.